comfort. Aesthetics. The thermal comfort can be defined as the condition of mind which expressed the satisfaction with the thermal environment. So that's the standard for the ISO 7730 in 1984, which is in the case when we are feeling neither too cold or too warm, and when the humidity produced by the body can be equated with the environment. In the cold, the most important factors are the body must be in heat balance, the mean skin temperature must be within comfort limits, there should be no local thermal discomfort. So this is the comfort mind map, and these are all some of the garments we can use in the cold temperature. So uses of cloth. To be the psychological comfort or physiological comfort, to maintain the state of comfort, clothing must be designed to allow the body heat balance to be maintained under a wide range of environmental conditions and body activity. The important climatic considerations for a comfort are temperature, humidity, and air movement for the both indoor and outdoor environments, and additionally solar load and precipitation outdoors. So this is a comparison. At 10 degrees Celsius, minus 10 degrees Celsius, the garments to be like this. At minus 20 degrees Celsius, the garment should be like this. At minus 40 degrees Celsius, the garment should be wear like this. So next, the clothing for the cold environment. Clothing for the cold climates should slow down the rate of which man loses heat to his environment to a level which can be balanced by the generator by metabolic processes. It should provide a protection from wind penetrations and afford thermal insulation without hindering ability due to bulk, and also prevent any bellows action from the removing warm air trapped within the cloth layers. The air layers between the fabric should be narrower to further impart air movement. The clothing layers should be kept dry as the presence of water will lower the thermal insulation, and the waterproof outer layer may also be necessary. Next, textile or skin friction. The tribology of skin is in contact with the textiles is important in connection with the properties of the fabrics are closely related to their surface and frictional properties. It can also be critical factor for skin injuries like irritation and blistering, which are caused by the cyclic mechanical load if contact pressures and shear forces are high or continue over long enough period of time. So next, design requirements for a cold weather clothing. So cold weather garments include those for ski wears and mountaineering, and for army personnel posted in hilly areas at high altitudes. Other environments where cold weather clothing is required include garments for those working in cold stores. The most important requirement for clothing is extremely cold conditions or protections and comfort. Clothing must be reduce the heat loss from the body and permit the controlled transmission of moisture produced by perspiration. In order to provide the required level of warmth, clothing should provide the highest degree of insulation with the least amount of bulk. So, protection forms. The protection forms the cold mainly depends on the following factors, that is metabolic heat, outside temperature, wind chill, thermal insulation, air permeability, moisture vapor transmissions. Next, importance and functions of ventilations in cold weather apparel. The two main properties of cold weather apparels are the insulations and breathability. In cold weather, the clothing should provide the required insulations for the protection against the cold, and it should allow the transmissions of perspired sweat from the skin to the environment. The insulative properties of the cold clothing system is accomplished by the relatively thick material constituting the cold fabrics and its ability to trap air, while the breathability is accomplished by the vapor permeability properties of the fabric, which is related to the ability of the clothing system to allow the vaporized moisture to pass through materials.